welcome back to my channel. It's good to spend some time with you today. I'm joined by Daisy, who's sort of on the sofa here next to me. I think she's just gone to sleep. She's just been to the dog groomers. She looks really cute, don't you, babe? She may put in a little appearance later as we go. But I am just starting a week's holiday, which I am so excited about. So I'm hoping to get some stitchy progress in, because the rest of the year right up until Christmas for work for me is crazy. I'm literally away just about every week now in between Christmas in London with work. So I'm involved in a couple of like extra projects alongside my day job. So I am like the key account management sort of lead within our division, and I've also been selected to be a master coach. So yeah, I'm going on an intensive course at the beginning of November, just after the Scottish stitching retreat. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with me, but I'm going to support the rest of the managers in terms of coaching their teams pretty much across the rest of Europe. So yeah, so there's probably going to be a bit of travel involved with that, I think. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, September's been crazy too. So I've been looking back at my timekeeping app in terms of how much stitching I've done, and I've stitched for less than half the time in terms of evenings. So I've only stitched for 13 evenings and on a couple of weekends. So it's like not as much progress as I would have liked. Still, there's some decent stuff. I have got a couple of finishes here, and I've made some good progress on my ornament, but you know, it's not as much as I would actually like. But then, you know, life gets in the way, doesn't it? So I've just noticed I've left my little board over there, so I'm just going to pop and get that, and I'll be back in a moment. Yeah, so from a non-stitching perspective, I've also started to do some more fitness stuff. So I think this point last year I was doing the couch to 5k, and I'd really built myself up to a good level of running. So I was ready to join the park run, which is like a 5k local run which is run at 9 o'clock every Saturday morning. So I was like prepared for all of that, and then life and work just got in the way again. So I feel as though like I lost a lot of fitness. The other thing is, I watched part of my upload from last month back, and I just sort of check it's running well. I don't sit and watch myself. I can't sit and watch myself. I'll just edit it and then put it up, and then I'll play the first couple of minutes to just make sure everything's running well. And oh my god, I don't know what it was. Well, I do. But I mean, they say the camera adds pounds onto you anyway. It certainly did. I don't know whether the top I was wearing did me justice, but like the bingo wing action going on underneath my arms. Oh my god, like I couldn't believe it. I'm gonna put in a clip for you now. Cringe moment. It's just like seriously, are you kidding me? Like, I really need to do something about this. So I've also invested some time during this last month as well to like fitness and personal well-being, because you know, I've got next week off, but that literally is my only time to recharge, and I've got to make sure I've got enough power in the tank to keep going right through to year end. So we will see. So I need to invest some more time in myself. So at the end, I'm going to show you just a couple of things that I've bought to enable me to do that. So without further ado, shall we do some, let's have a look at the finishes, shall we? So the first one is just a little one. I'll put in a picture of where I was last time I uploaded for you. And this is where I am now. So we have a finish. So let me just get it right up close for you. So it's really cute. I need to get some frames now for these, because I've got another Christmas finish as well, which is the Merry Christmas My Dear. And yeah, I'd like to get these framed and on the wall for Christmas. So I'm quite pleased with how that's turned out. It's super cute. I have obviously been having a look in, I've been in the range Home Bargains, B&M. I haven't been in Dunelm yet, so I'd probably like to do a trip to Dunelm and just have a look, because I want to start now getting some of these things finished. You know, I've been talking, I think it was last time, about getting a lecturer in a frame. I've also got the Prairie Schooler that I did, because obviously Halloween's like literally knocking on the door now, isn't it? So, and then we've got Christmas, so I would like to get like some of these smaller finishes framed. You know, it may be something that I have time to do during this week off. I mean, there's certainly a lot I want to do. I want to get across to the East Coast for a few days. I need to get the house sorted. I also need to put some stock into my Etsy shop. I've been doing pretty well actually with that. So I've been selling a few items through there. A lot of the jewellery making kits, but also some cards, so I need to make some more cards as well to put some stock in, especially with Christmas coming. So that's another thing I need to do. Plus stitching, you know, there's just not enough hours in the day for me, I tell you. Honestly, work really does get in the way. And then the second finish, it's not cross stitch, but obviously it's akin to it. I got my diamond painting finisher. This is the Enchanted Rose. So that's all done now. This is a 30 by 30. The detail further back looks pretty decent on it actually. As I'm looking at it through the viewfinder here, it looks quite good. Obviously, the closer you get, the more pixelated the design becomes. So obviously, in the ones that I've picked moving forwards, I've gone quite large for the depth of detail. And I have made a start on my Heaven and Earth designs. I have actually already filmed a drill with me with a tag as I start my Heaven and Earth designs, but I just haven't got around to editing that and uploading it. But literally it's the top corner, so there's really no point in me like showing you it because there's just nothing to show. So I'd like to make some progress on that over the course of the week as well. So this looks pretty decent. Will I frame it? I don't think I will bother, to be honest. I think I'll just sort of like roll it away and keep it. I mean, this one was all about, you know, will I like it as much as I like cross stitch? I mean, cross stitch will always be my true love, but, you know, I just wanted like another hobby and, you know, to add to the rest of it. But these move along so much faster than cross stitch. I mean, there's no way you could get something like this finished that was cross stitched in the time. I think this took me like 35 hours. According to the Timekeeper app, that you wouldn't get something like this done as a cross stitch in 35 hours. You wouldn't. I mean, you'd be lucky if you've got like a page done. So yeah, it does move on a lot faster. So I've been enjoying that. Not getting as much time to do as much as I would like with it, but you know, obviously I've got a focus piece that I've been working on, and that has been pretty much the priority for this month, alongside finishing that. So there's my finishes. Progress wise, as I've said, the progress has been around the Enchanted Christmas Ornament by Donna Glessinger. So this is a Heaven and Earth design ornament. So I'll put in a picture of what it looked like last time I showed you. And this is where I am now. So let me hold it up for you and you can see where I am at. So progress has been pretty good this month. I'm feeling optimistic that I can get this done for Christmas. So all that I've got to really do is this final page. Well, it's not even a full page, it's almost a full page, and then there's a tiny bit of partial on the bottom just to make the rest of that circle. So I've been working here for the last sort of few weeks. And then I've also come back and filled in a lot of that toy sack as well. So I've got a lot of the confetti and ninja stitches put into that. So there is still a bit of work, but there's like a couple of like, not missed stitches, but stitches that I need to go back in. But I'm filling them in as I've gone. So for the last few nights, I've really been focusing, sorry, my viewfinder's the other way around on this camera. I've really been focusing over there just to try and build in that toy sack, because the filling in parts are the bits that really take the time. But you know, this section here is pretty much like done. There are a couple of stitches that I need to go back and fill in, but it's coming together. So I'm thinking what I'll be doing is like alternating. So I'm going to work on this page because there are, as you start it, there's quite a few blocks of colour, so I'm going to stitch some colour blocks, come back over, do some toys, colour block, toys, and that way at the end I'm not left with a load of stitches that I need to fill in. But you know, for this next week, if I'm stitching, I feel like this is the thing that I'm going to be really sort of focusing my time on. I will do a couple of bits on the other designs just to break it up, but it is about this at the moment. I mean, if you're anything like me, I love it and I'm really enjoying working on it, but I'm getting sick of the sight of it now. It's like been for well, pretty much all of this year that I've been working on this, so I do want to get it nailed and framed, literally, get it finished and get it on the wall for Christmas. So where are we now? So I've got October and November realistically to work on this, so I need to have this pretty much boxed off in the next 6 weeks, which, you know, under normal circumstances would be completely fine. However, I'm not really home an awful lot during that time, so that's going to affect it. But still, I'm optimistic, I'm going with this. You know, I'm determined to have it on my wall for Christmas. I may need to, you know, pull some strings with my framer, so he'll prioritise it for me when he comes to frame it, sort of end of November, beginning of December. But yeah, I've got relatively high hopes that that will come together. So yeah, there will be a focus on that over this next week. So that leaves me with a couple of other things which I have put some stitches in, but not made huge progress on. So the first of those pieces is Lily, which is a Nora Corbett design. She's really pretty. Do you know what, I've just thought I've not told you what I've been stitching this on and size wise. So let me just go back to this. This is 2/1 on 18 count HAED. So Lily, I'll put in a picture of where I was before, and this is where she is now. So a little bit, just a little bit of progress. So I'm stitching Lily on 32 count opalescent Murano in Bridget's Garden. So it's like, it's got like a bit of pink and green reflect in it, and the hand-dyed fabric is like green and pink. It never really looks as good as it does in real life on the screen, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. These are great to stitch. They're a nice break from the Heaven and Earths. You know, you've got sort of larger runs, larger blocks of colours. They stitch up a lot faster than the Heaven and Earths, just because you're not changing your you know, your thread as often. So this is just stitched in simple DMC. I'm stitching it 2/2 on the 32 count, so it'll be like 16 count size when it's done. But yeah, she's coming along great, and she's another one that I will sort of focus on, and the sort of thing that I use to break up my time between the Heaven and Earth. And then finally, I did a little bit of work on this last night because I thought, my God, like, I don't have anything to show you much. It does look a bit like miserable in terms of progress. So I busted out my Autumn at Hawk and Hollow and made a start on that third block. So I literally sort of did a bit of the outline last night and then started, oh God, the needle's actually still sticking through it, Lisa. I started on those trees that are in the back corner. So yeah, I mean, I'm stitching this in the call for MPIs, so I'm 100% committed because obviously the MPIs work out pretty expensive. So committed to this, I will finish it. There's no set deadlines for me with this piece. I'll work on it for 2 years, 3 years, whatever. I mean, it's a big undertaking. There's a lot of work goes into it, but I absolutely love it. I love working with the MPIs. I mean, DMC is lovely. I've got, you know, most of the stuff I do is in DMC. I never have an issue with it, but moving from DMC to the silk, you can feel it. It feels really nice in your hands. It's lovely. So I'm stitching this 1/2 on 40 count. What is this? Vintage Country Mocha linen, and yeah, I got this piece from so and so. So it's really long. I mean, this will be about 4 foot when it's finished. So I've stitched it as a sort of charted with the border at the top. Sorry, I've left it on a key snap, but I am working on it, and there's so much fabric in this, I just couldn't be bothered to let it out. So, but you know, it is what it is. It will get worked on throughout the rest of this year. You know, it'd be good to get that other block finished, this block that I'm working on this year. But you know, there's no pressure for it. It is about the heaven and earth ornament, and then hopefully by the end of this coming month, and I've had the week off and I've made progress, I really can stop rabbiting on about it, because plus I miss my other heaven and earth. I miss my Steam Heart by Chris Ortega as well. So almost there. The only bit of stash that I've got to show you is my other fabric showed up from Sparklies. So I got the opalescent Murano in oatmeal. So I got a large piece of this. It doesn't, you can't see sort of like the colour changes in this. So it is like double O length, because these are for my Mirabillia's Royal Games, but it's like, I'm trying to describe it to you. So it's got like a green reflect in it, and it's like a little bit pinky, a little bit cream. It looks good in the light here, but I don't think it's going to translate into anything much on there. But it's a nice colour. Let me turn it that way, see if it looks any better. It's like a creamy pinky beige, but it's not like profoundly hand-dyed. Do you know what I mean? You can't see loads of like colour changes in it, which is exactly what I wanted, because it is like, it's a playing card, so I wanted something that was neutral. I wasn't going to go sort of wild with colour for this, so I've got that, and obviously on that I'm going to go these designs. So I've got the Royal Games 1 and 2, so I've pretty much kitted this one up at this point. So that's the Royal Games 1 with, I think it's the Queen of Hearts at the top. So that's what I'll be working on. I'm not sure that I'll start that this month. I might do. I'm really like wanting a new start, but with my time being precious and limited, I might just limit it to those 3 that I've got. I know it's not going to be like mega exciting in terms of an upload next time, but you know, I do want that Christmas ornament finished, and I want to stop banging on about it. So that is the stitchy progress for the past month. Is it marvellous? Not in as much as I would like it to be, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm just going to show you a couple of other things that I've bought. It's non-cross stitch related, so if you want to switch off at this point, then that's absolutely fine. I will love you and leave you, and I'll see you soon. However, if you are staying with me, hang fire, and I'll just reach over and get a couple of things that I bought. Okay, so I got myself, it's like a fitness journal. So this is like the Hello New Me. So basically what you do in the first instance is you set your goal. So I don't mind sharing my goal with you. It starts off by saying, I am gorgeous the way I am, but here's what I'd like to improve. So this is what I've put in here. So my fitness and strength, and to generally lose weight and tone. So obviously, yeah, I do need to shed a few pounds, and I also need to tone, having seen like the bingo wings early on. So what you then do is you put your measurements in. So I've got them, I'm not going to show you them, but and then you weigh yourself, and then every day you pretty much keep a journal. So I'll show you a page in here. So you put what you've eaten for breakfast and lunch. You need to write how much you have drunk, how well you slept, any exercise that you've managed to do during that time, and then just like general thoughts about, you know, how you felt about what you've achieved, and then something you want to do a little bit differently tomorrow just to improve yourself. So this whole thing lasts for 90 days. Kind of fell a little bit off the wagon with work, but it's something I do want to pick back up again, and I do need to take this away with me. And at the end you do your measurements again, just so you can see how you've improved over that time period. that's good. So as I said, I am back on the treadmill running, and then as soon as I've built myself up to like a reasonable level of fitness, which will probably take about 2 to 3 weeks, because it hasn't been as hard as I thought. So I did start that Couch to 5K app again, and it's not been like as bad as it was last time. Like, I'm not as unfit as I was when I began that. But I also really like to plan out my fitness routine. So I got this magnetic board which goes on like the board in my office, where I sort of stick reminders and things like that, you know, write on it things I need to do for work in particular, or, you know, appointments I need to keep, like hair and stuff. So that goes on there, and basically you write by day what your exercise is going to be, then you can sort of tick them off in the box at the top as you've done it. I love doing this. I like to plan stuff out, I like to vary it. I've got a lot of different exercise DVDs, so you know, I just want to get like those back in rotation as well. I've mentioned about The Firm, which is an American, you know, it's a big American company who do all sorts of different fitness videos. So I've got a lot of their videos and bits and pieces of equipment, so I want to, you know, get that back on rotation, so I can pretty much write a month's worth of fitness goals and things that I'd like to achieve out here, and yeah, and sort of really knuckle down and get myself back into some good shape. So I then have mentioned I did like a stitching upload, and I've mentioned it again in the other video that I've done my drill with me, just about sort of taking a bit of like relaxation time and things like that. So I have done a fair bit of yoga in the past, but I picked up this yoga DVD. So this has got like, oh god, I'm trying to think how many videos are in here, and options. There's so much. I think there might be like, I don't know, 15 or 16 different options on here that you can do. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm sure there's about 15 or 16. But you can sort of mix them up as well. You do like sections out of each one. So this is done by the Beachbody. I've got a few of their like DVDs. So Beachbody, if you've heard of Insanity, they do that. I've got Insanity. I managed the first month of Insanity, then it did get insane. They do, I've got Turbo Fire. What else have I got of theirs? Yeah, they do like the Brazilian butt lift and things like that. But the yoga one, I've started that. I really do enjoy that. And it takes you right through. So I started with the beginner section, and it really shows you like your posture and things like that, which are really important. And then I'd also mentioned in my previous upload about Tai Chi as well, and the well-being, and obviously it's all about energy and energy flow in your body, and I'm really into that sort of stuff. So I got these. So I got Tai Chi for beginners and Tai Chi for energy. So I do need energy. I did start this. It's a little bit funny. So I went on the treadmill and did like a good half hour of running, and I thought, I was hungry, and you know, you think, I'm gonna start this. So I put it on, and I was at it for about half an hour, and to be honest, I barely moved. So I got a little bit frustrated and switched it off, which is a bit naughty. It was a bit slow, to be fair. But that's the whole point, you see, because I mean, I'm always like 100 miles an hour pretty much for most things, and this is why this is going to be really important for me, to like slow down a little bit, relax, gather some thoughts, like stop putting pressure on myself for various things and just go with it. So I'm going to probably do that this weekend again when I've got some time, I'm not hungry, I've not just been on the treadmill and I'm all sweaty, just to like really like take a bit of time and just do something like that's relaxing for me, because I do think this will be really nice. But yeah, it was just kind of the timing when I started it, and obviously my frustration, because I just expected like all of a sudden to be like a Tai Chi expert and be, you know, moving around and giving it all of this. Nah. And there's a lot to it. Oh my god, it's quite like, it's not as straightforward as it looks. I mean, the guys obviously do it, they look so relaxed while they do it. yeah, it's going to be something that's going to take, you know, a long time to like become good at. So that is where I'm at. So obviously I've got this next week off. I do need to get some bits and pieces done, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the focus is going to be around the ornament. I do need to do some stuff for my Etsy store. I do want to go over to the static for a few days as well. I'll probably go Monday and stay through till maybe Friday possibly. We'll see. You know, this week is about me recharging, just chilling, going with the flow. You know, I was thinking about vlogging and doing some like uploads. I might do, but I just don't want to pressurise myself by doing it. I've been trying to put a bit more into the channel and do extra stuff, and it's really like exhausting. It's not exhausting, but it does take time, and it's one thing I don't have a lot of, and it's not just filming a video. I mean, sitting down here in front of you guys and chit-chatting away is like, it's not a problem. It's the editing and uploading and creating thumbnails and things that just take that bit of time. And yeah, I guess, you know, I may do something. It will be really ad hoc. It won't be like a daily event. And obviously if I'm at the static, it can't be because there's not any real internet connection for me to upload from. So, you know, I may post something like at the end of the week if I do capture anything. And if I don't, I don't. You know, it is what it is. I do need to film an upload on the Easy PDF, because following on from the last kind of video I did where I was showing you some of the apps I use, I did get a lot of questions around Easy PDF, so I do want to film that over the next week or so and get that uploaded for you guys. You know, some questions on, you know, how to work with it and upload and get things across into it seems to be like the biggest challenges. So that's what I do want to do. But other than that, yeah, I'm going to chill out, stitch, maybe do a bit of diamond painting, watch some TV, spend some time with Daisy, because obviously I'm going to see less and less of her over the next few weeks. Luckily for her, my parents like love her to bits, so you know, she's got somewhere really good to go where she gets like so much attention and care that, you know, I think they almost put me to shame with her as well. But she's here just sleeping. Sorry baby, I woke her up. Anyway guys, I'm going to go now and yeah, do some housework and sort my craft room out and get a couple of cards finished off and onto my Etsy store. So I will catch you soon. Bye for now.